Hi everyone, this is audapostrophe. Let's check out Arcade Archive's Thunderceptor II, sometimes referred to as 3D Thunderceptor 2 or Thunderceptor 2 3D, running on Nintendo Switch. Of course, the original Thunderceptor was released a few months back, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with the sequel. Looks like it's top buttons only. That's interesting too. Alright, there's our normal display settings. Alright, those are our dip switches. Nothing too terribly fancy there. Really just difficulty and demo sound. Looks like they've adapted the controls, just like the original for twin stick style play. So you have that way you can control the acceleration. The camera movement is so weird that that takes a while to get used to. And the default controls are normal flight controls, so down is up and up is down. But you can invert those, I believe. We'll borrow some ideas from their Xevious. It's damn good, so you know, they're just stealing from each other. In a way, it's like an early, like, Road Blasters or Stun Runner, something along those lines. It reminds me a lot of Hyperzone, which was a very early Super Nintendo title, which is not good. Don't go look that game up. My brain occasionally forgets that I need to push down to go up. It used to be the way I preferred games to control, but eventually I just got used to what we consider normal Y and X Y behavior. But you know, in truth, this control scheme that we're used to with moving up and down during flight, that used to be considered inverted. Now the new norm is up and down is down. It's just not something that makes sense if you're actually like in an aircraft. Pushing down on a stick corresponds to the direction that you go. That your body physically moves. So pushing down on the stick, your plane goes down, and pushing up on the stick, your plane goes up. So yeah, it's sort of a weird concept for like a modern gamer to understand, unless you've ever been a part of a flight sim. Or use a flight stick. I think that would just be something that you would naturally pick up on. If you use a flight stick, you're playing like some sort of flight simulator or some sort of air combat game. Run there for a minute. Wow. Buckle up and face the sparks. Also reminds me a bit of Buck Rogers arcade, the old Sega arcade game. It just reminds me so much. I mean, there's so many arcade games which I've never seen Arcade Archives release. And really, the only versions of those games that kind of exist now are like the home console versions. If I remember right, like Buck Rogers on the Intellivision and the Atari 2600 were not very good. You do the name entries real funky. Mostly considering the technology being used here. In the time period, it's pretty impressive how well it moves. Obviously, you know, there's no afterburner or anything is necessarily a space harrier, but it's pretty good still. It's just got, you know, a little funky camera movement. So it's pretty sensitive to movement, so you gotta do very small gestures of the control stick. Wow. That was a ripoff. That was a double hit. Just can't quite fire fast enough. All right, well, we stop it there. This is audap. You've been watching Thunder Scepter II as part of the Arcade Archive series running on Nintendo Switch. Yeah, I mean, it's an accurate portrayal of the, or accurate emulation of the original arcade game. You know, it's a little funky for its controls, since the right stick controls your acceleration and deceleration. You know, the left stick is traditional movement, and then your L and R buttons are shoot, and then your L2 and R2 buttons are bomb. But I think after a little while, you get used to it, and it's quite an enjoyable little shmup. You know, obviously it's not going to occupy like hours and hours of your time or anything, but it is kind of a fun little romp. Play for a couple minutes, see how far you can get in the level, and if you can achieve a higher score. So yeah, I mean, check it out. Don't expect like super great things. I don't really consider this a must-play classic, but I think you can get some enjoyment out of it in this very early 3D. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.